holes of darkness. Thanks for the $5.
Roses are red, violets are twisted. Bend over, pokey, you're about to get fisted. Love you, babe.
I like big butts and I cannot lie.
So in about 12, 13 hours, I'm about to go on vacation to Kansas for about a week, maybe a little bit over. And when I come back, something is going to start changing. After a few videos I have left in the oven, I'm going to start taking channel recommendations. The only thing is I don't want recommendations like, hey, shit talk this kid on Musical.ly, or hey, upload gameplay of Fortnite. That's not what I fucking do, you guys. I definitely want to keep this channel more streamlined and more in tune with my vision for it. So if your recommendation is related to comics, movies, or games, I'll take it into account and I'll probably do a video on it. Okay, so since I'm literally hitting the road in less than 24 hours and I'm still not packed, I want to make a quick video. And since this video idea has already been saturated, why don't I become a part of the problem and make my own? Here are my very own unpopular opinions on media. Fuckers. I think that Japanese games are just marginally better than Western games.
Hey, you're being a fucking weeb.
Maybe. But as I look at some of my favorite games that I have fully enjoyed and I've even taken the time to replay, a lot of them are Japanese. Most Western games, especially first-person shooters and open-world games, feel very samey to me after a while. But because the Japanese gaming climate has a lot of representation for lots of different groups, such as games for casuals, games centered on anime fans, games centered on RPG fans, or all the like, their constantly growing library of games feels so diverse, and even easier to take in. Almost all the Japanese games that I've played have great color palettes, interesting gameplay, and amazing soundtracks. And some of them even have fantastic stories to rival some movies that I've seen. Now, I'm not saying that Western games can't have these or that they haven't had them in the past, but most games that come out fucking look the same. Some have gotten so bad that I honestly can't tell a sequel from the original anymore. And then there's DLC, one of my least favorite business practices of all fucking time. And game companies from the West don't know when to get their grubby little dick fingers out of our wallets, forcing us to pay extra money to get the full experience. But on the rarer case that the Japanese do it, it's usually costumes or something that has no effect on the game as a whole. Usually. Maybe I am being a weeb, but that's just my honest opinion. The DCEU is not as bad as people keep saying it is. Now just you hold your fucking horses. That does not mean that these movies are good. I'm just saying that maybe saying that they're worse than Batman and Robin, and Steel, and Spawn, and Elektra is a tad bit overboard. Now you can have your opinions. That's okay. I don't care. I just don't like this idea of over-exaggerating them and overselling them. But then again, this is coming from the guy who has used best of all time or favorite of all time in almost all of my recent videos, so touche, internet. It's okay to dislike these movies. I dislike these movies. Kind of. For some godforsaken reason, despite knowing these movies are fundamentally shit, I have had fun with almost every single fucking DCEU movie. Excluding Batman v Superman, which was definitely on my shit list for rant videos, but I decided against it because I didn't feel like dedicating hours of work to a movie that had already been talked about to death. And this is really gonna piss off or confuse people, but I fucking love Suicide Squad. Now, I fully know that this is a bad movie, specifically in the editing and even the misuse of the squad itself, and the story makes no sense. But every damn time I've watched this movie, I've never been bored, and I've always had fun. It's a fucking mystery. Also, I love Leto's Joker, fuck off. I do not trust, nor like, most quote-unquote reviewers. This one is mostly directed towards movie and game reviewers, and it's one of the key reasons I nipped being a reviewer in the bud before I kept going on with YouTube. My biggest issue with these self-titled reviewers and critics is that instead of taking a look at how movies are made and how some things work and don't work in the big scope of the entire film and how just writing is done or filmmaking is done or even, I don't know, having a love for the craft, a love that some of my favorite channels share with me, most of these fucking people are just saying, I didn't like this, and when you ask them why, they just tell you, because I don't, and the director can kill themselves, and the main character can eat a dick!
Fuck this movie. Fuck this movie and fuck everyone in it, excluding Mark Hamill. I hope everyone in this movie and everyone who had participation in making this movie come to life, I hope they get cancer, they go through excruciating pain of chemotherapy, and then on their deathbed at the last second, they're healed miraculously. Just so they can experience the pain and angst that they put me through while watching this piece of shit film.
Now understand, I don't like to attack people. I don't like to insult people. I don't like to start shit. I like to be a very peaceful, calm person who has a very calm channel. But understand what I say when I say this. You are a piece of human shit. Genuinely. I mean that. You're a fucking turd. The fact that you would fucking wish that on somebody, even though you went back on it and said, oh, they could be cured at the last second. The fact that you're comparing one of the worst diseases on this fucking planet to a movie, not as a joke, but because you're a whiny little bitch, shows how much of a fucking cunt you are. And what shocks me more than these people existing, because there's always going to be village idiots, there's always going to be cunts who ruin it for everyone else, I find it fucking shocking how these people have found a flock of sheep to follow them. There are idiots on this world who see this as intelligent content, and people will just flock to assholes like these by the masses. And I'm not saying that everybody is like this guy, but what I'm saying is that this idea of seeing yourself, the regular random moviegoer, as a fucking critic because you have a camera and a notepad document is ridiculous. This is why I divert more to Chris Stuckman and Jeremy Johns for shorter reviews of films, and to people like King K, Matthew Matosis, and the Gaming Brit Show for gaming content. They don't just chump out these videos like twice a day just for the sake of getting popular. They don't say whatever the fuck comes to their mind at the moment. They take time. They have scripts. They flesh out ideas and concepts that they have. They want people to look at media from a different perspective and actually think about what they're watching. They don't want an echo chamber of normie assholes with wishy-washy opinions that can be changed just like that. And I'm not insulting anybody in particular. Everybody in video clips that I've showed, except this asshole, are alright people. I'm even fans of some of them. I just don't think that they should consider themselves reviewers or critics because they have a camera and a YouTube channel. Wow, that got really serious really fast. Let's lighten up the mood, guys. What's the next one? 13 Reasons Why Season 1 was amazing and let me and my friends open up a dialogue about our mental health. And Season 2 shat all over that. Now, son of a bitch. Now, some would say that this opinion is quite common, but at least from what I remember, the majority of people who loved Season 1 at least liked Season 2, and vice versa. But me, I loved Season 1. It basically came out at the right time as your boy was going through some tough shit. But this season almost brought me out of that mini retirement that I had going on. Remember that when I left after my Matsuri video and didn't come back until I made a short film about 3 months later? This fucking thing almost made me undo that choice. But I'm not trying to blame anybody, I'm definitely not trying to send any hate. But if I was forced to blame somebody, I'd obviously blame the writers. Because they're the ones that thought emotional torture porn was a good idea for the second season of a show about mental illness. Yeah, remember how Season 1's message was to treat people how you want to be treated? And to not commit suicide because you have so much to live for? And there's even an underlying message of how a teenager's life, someone who hasn't even fully gone through puberty yet, their life can be taken away in the blink of an eye, and it has ramifications that can shatter through an entire town. Well, boys and girls, Season 2's mentality is life is worthless, you'll never be happy, fuck you. And if you're a character in the show, for some reason, there's a high probability that you'll also be raped. Why? Because when the writers are out of ideas, they'll just rape somebody. Which is a terrible, terrible way to write a show. What are you doing? Season 1 made people who I never thought had these kind of thoughts or had these kind of struggles open up to me. And we had a mutual dialogue about how we felt, what goes through our minds on a daily basis, how we cope. You know, healthy conversation. Yeah, Season 2 just makes me shiver in disgust. Look, I understand that they are transitioning this show from being about mental illness and suicide to being this Degrassi type show that's a melodrama that tackles a bunch of issues for teens. But no, that's a terrible fucking idea. That doesn't work when the entire show's heavy focus has been on a girl's suicide for 2 whole seasons. You can't just shift gears and make this into a fucking melodrama where nobody is happy and there's constant suffering. You do realize you've raped 4 characters in this show. You do get that, right? Do you know what you're even doing? And then they had the audacity to retroactively add lore to Season 1 mostly for shippers, saying that Hannah lost her virginity to Zach and even dated him. And then she even hung out with Bryce on a few occasions and he was jealous because she didn't want his dick and thought of him as a friend. And then, here's the real ball kicker, guys. They almost do a school shooting and then have the balls to leave it on a cliffhanger. Oh my God! I'm fine. Look, all I'm saying is that if your set is in constant need of therapy dogs for the actors, and there's multiple rape scenes, even in 1 season, that's not counting the whole show, maybe you should rethink what you're writing. So everybody, those are my unpopular opinions for now. Thank you for watching, and if you liked the video, share it. It helps the channel, really. Just share it with your friends, even if you let your grandma watch it to see me cussing and then have her denounce me. Just share it if you enjoyed it. It really helps me. Since I'm not going to be here, maybe rewatch a few videos if you forgot them. Just don't go past 7 months, as all that content is shit. Okay, bye guys. Love you.